God damn, I forgot my cup. Oh God, I just do not have the balance today. What's up? Morning. Yeah, without Aaron, we've got no walking to the train. This is technically the first vlog without him. I mean, technically there's a Trek Tuesday, but, you know, anyways. So, as I've told my Facebook and my Twitter and my Tumblr, but, you know, who watches my social media? Mostly on Facebook, but barely anybody here is on Facebook. I'll hunker that one down. I really do. I don't want, like, should I ever get up to, like, 1,000 or 10,000 subscribers. I don't want to have that many Facebook friends. I'd just be inundated. I've gained so many from the LGBT Sports Summit, I'm starting to get inundated. I'm like losing track of my local friends, and I'm just like, anyways. So, yeah, a lot happened this last weekend, and this vlog's going to be mainly about that. And then at the end, it'll be Aaron's video that he sent, which I need to get him. I'm getting distracted by you. Over there. I don't have to look anything up, it's all in my head. So yeah, and then Aaron will be at the end. I gotta get him to figure out where his microphone is on whatever he's recording, or not cover it up if he's on his phone, because it's hard to hear him. I started watching it a little bit, and I was like, oh crap, I need to know what this is. I need to not know what it is. It's obviously him in his room, just pointing at his kitchenette thing. Anyways, so a lot of that was, like, Thursday I had some vlog stuff about it, because that's when I went to the airport and picked some people up, and that's when you saw Matt and Chris and Lauren and Mason. Though I was walking them all to the Jupiter Hotel from the airport. We had seen Derek and his boyfriend, and we saw Cameron, and I think I saw someone else at the airport while we were all there, and I didn't say hi because, yay, social anxiety, and I didn't know these people. Next year, I'll say something, because we'll have had a year of Facebook if they haven't, like, abandoned the hell out of me, because, you know, my Facebook is different than, I mean, it's not like I use a different Facebook, but I treat Facebook a little differently. That's going to be interesting. The first night was basically a social. Aaron got to go with me, but on the way to the hotel, because Aaron and I got down to that area of town early, and we met Mason and, you know, his roommate at the, not Matthew, because it was the M's, Mason and Matthew. We met them at the room, we went down, and then the rest of the Jupiter Hotel attendees came to the one area, and we all walked to the hotel. I said something to me that was complete compliment. I literally walked like 2 blocks and went over it in my head. You know, and I finally, you know, and I said something, and then everybody thought it was a bad thing. I said it to Lauren, and I said, when I spend 2 blocks going over something to make sure there's no flaw in it, and then to find that there is a flaw in it, like Mason told me later that was actually kind of mean sounding, and I didn't know, and I tried to apologize, but anyways. So the social happened, and I talked with people. I didn't get to meet a lot of people because it was a cramped area. I mean, you regular viewers, we have kind of a square apartment, and this was real rectangular. It was about that. It was probably twice the size of our apartment for, like, you know, 120 people. If you've seen some of the pictures from my Snapchat, I didn't put any on Instagram. I didn't vlog it, because that's, anyways, too crowded. People just didn't want to be on camera. But I had, like, a lot to drink. I was socialized. Hung around with Mason because I was there, and I met him when he got off the plane. Everyone else seemed to have their own cliques, and being from you know, not me recently in high school, but in high school, and then trying to get into, and then football and various other areas, there's already cliques set up, so it's kind of hard to get into those cliques very fast, especially when some of these people have known each other for years, and I've seen their names online in, like, pictures. I didn't see them in motion, because none of them do vlogs, or if I did see them in motion, it was like national interviews. So, and then the day of the summit was like Friday, and that was like the last day I was gonna have with Aaron. But I learned a lot. I felt like I made an ass of myself a lot of the time, because I was sitting at the table, you know, for breakfast, and then we went off to panels, and then I came back, and we sat down for lunch, and I sat at a different table. I sat down with Eric Lucian for, was that lunch? I sat down at the wrong table because they were supposed to split up by the last number of your phone, and mine's 5. And I sat down at the 4 table because I really wanted to sit near Eric, because I remembered, you know, I found out that he was University of Nebraska football player, and I was like, I don't want to sit down next to another football player. And Jarvis wound up sitting down there too, and he's also a football player. And as I checked, we were the only 3 that were there that had or currently played football. There may have been 1 or 2 others, but we never actually met. And then pretty much there's just people who played it. You know, there's the older members that played it when they were in like high school. But anyways, but that's not the sport we're known for. But as I was sitting at my table, I'd always look around and I would see people looking at me. Like I would just like get around just to get the eyes off of people, and I'd just look at the roof or the ceiling, and I'd look around at all the various decorations that are in this room, because it was a kind of a ballroom. And they're interesting. Or I'd look out the windows to see what's going on in Portland, because we can see across the river. But every once in a while I'd catch, because I have peripheral vision, I'd catch someone looking over at me, and the moment I look at them, their eyes would dart away. And they never said anything, and this means there's something strange about me, but they don't want to make it look like they're looking. Because it's weird. I do it with some of, you know, I did it as a kid, and I still do it now, because it's, say it, but I don't mean it badly. It's like a train wreck. You can't, that's a bad thing actually, because train wrecks you can't look away from, and these you can look away from. When there's like significantly physically deformed people, if they've had like major burns or an eye, or they only have 1 ear, from accidents, or they were born that way, whatever, you look at them and then like they look at you and you realize you've been staring, so you look away. There's that sort of thing. And then in my past I've had that, you know, and this was like, there's like a couple people that were like looking at me and just sort of like doing that thing, or they duck their head back down, and I'm like, and nobody really introduced themselves as like athletes. The athletes barely introduced themselves to me. I know there's a lot of new ones that were overwhelmed by the thing, and I was too. I tried to introduce myself to people, but I just felt so awkward, because I know I have a penchant for just screwing things up and just saying the wrong thing. I mean, the fact that I made it through the event alive and not like having a public meltdown, that was a great thing. But I didn't get many selfies, because like, especially during the Pride Parade, I had to take a lot of pictures myself. It felt like there was a two-way street, and I was screwing things up, because I wasn't reaching out, but they weren't reaching out. But knowing my personality, I was the one mainly at fault. You know, and who knows, maybe, you know, at least some of the guys that were doing this thought I was kind of cute. I mean, there's that too, there's a good thing. Maybe they were like, oh my god, I want to look that great at his age. You know, because they already look great as is. You know, Derek and his boyfriend and Jack and all of them, you know, they're like 20 to 25, and you know, Chris is 19, and they all had their little clique, but you know, they're also from like, I don't know how to take this. I fit along more with some of the adults and the administrators of this whole thing than I did with the younger crowd, and probably the thing, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew that I was going to be probably the oldest of the athletes, but I wasn't like the youngest of the administration. There were actually people there that were like 26, and they're for, you know, they had like jobs in like reporting and cataloging and stuff. That made me feel really bad. There's a whole lot of good, but there's a whole lot of bad that I felt inside that I didn't talk about on the vlog on the weekend. Maybe because I had enough stuff with Aaron I was talking bad about. Not I was talking bad about Aaron, I was talking about that stuff, and it's bad. I didn't want to detract from the summit. It was a roller coaster weekend, and I still feel bad for saying some things to people that I didn't mean to. Especially thinking some things. God help me, I didn't think those things. I mean, I thought them, but I didn't say them. And there was a social media panel, and they were talking about, you gotta watch what you put out online, because you're branding. It's really nice. Nice coming from, you know, he's like, the Generation Y, we're aware that, you know, the internet is our brand, that our name is our brand. Bless you, man, I understand what you mean, but there's stuff on the internet I can't take down. It's all over the place. It's hidden in little areas. There's stuff I've done, but I don't even know if it got recorded, you know? I've put stuff on the internet, but I'm not going to go through my entire Tumblr and take it down because I want to take underwear selfies. You know, and if it comes down to it, if I, segueing into the next topic, if I get any national interviews for anything, for any reason, and they want to go dig up my past on my Tumblr, go ahead. I'll own up to it. I don't care. They can sit there and slander my name all they want because I'm a narcissistic queen. Whatever. I know, okay, maybe, but but that's the thing. It's like most of these kids, and like part of that whole panel was about, you know, if you get interviews, you know, like contact Glad, and I got the number, I put it in my phone, you know, just in case. And I'm like, you know, pretty much every single person in there has been interviewed by their local media, at least, if not more. And I haven't. I haven't been invited to podcasts. I don't know how to get into doing stuff like that. I tried. Maybe it's just not time enough for me yet. And I know my brain is time compressing, that it thinks that things need to happen faster than they really do. Am I impatient? Probably. My brain's impatient. My body is, I don't know. I'm incredibly patient because I know things take time. Like with me and like going and progressing in football, it takes time. I have to every day be out there on the ladder, in the gym, on the bleachers, out on the field. I have to, literally every day, and it's going to be this for years to get to the skills I'm expecting. But I also want it to happen really soon. You know, the very last day when we had the Pride Parade, I could tell people were kind of pulling away, and I don't know if that was just very neurotypical of people to kind of pull away because they know they were leaving back to their homes that day or the next day. But it seemed like people were pulling away or moving back more into their cliques. But I was having fun walking in the parade, but I didn't really have anyone next to me. Nobody was trying to take pictures with me or anything. So I did feel a little alone there, but I felt way more accepted there than I did in actual Portland Pride. And that's why I had a breakdown after the parade and all that stuff, is because I felt ridiculously alone and abandoned. I didn't have Aaron, I didn't have the summit anymore, and it was just me trying to make my way through Portland's gay community, and that doesn't ever work. That's that. I'll go back next year. I loved doing it, you know, and I'll go back, you know, next year and the year after, if I continuously get invited, all that jazz. But this last year, it felt really weird. I didn't know if I socially messed anything up, because when I do something bad, and Aaron's told me this one over the years, when I do something bad, he needs to tell me, because it's socially unacceptable for you to tell someone they did something wrong. And so if I did something wrong socially and I screwed up and was rude and didn't know I was rude, nobody would tell me because they're not supposed to. And that's the problem, is if I don't know how to fix it. I kind of live in this paranoid mindset that I'm going to do something wrong because it's historically happened. And I've always find out after the fact that I did something wrong. So I had this level of paranoia the entire summit that I was going to screw something up, and that probably didn't help the social anxiety. The alcohol did on the first day. I don't know. I got a lot of information out of it, and I met some people, but I don't think I made any friends. Whether because I'm terrible at making friends or because I kind of pissed people off and I didn't know it. So that's that. Sorry I haven't looked in your guys' eyes. It's kind of hard when I get serious to look into people's eyes. So we're going to cut over here to Aaron's little video. I think it's like a minute long or something. It's like 54 megs, which at that point we're looking at like maybe 40 seconds. I know he can't upload too terribly big a video. So I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a happier day. I have stuff I'm doing today, but I'm kind of resting. It's chess night and Indian night. Anyways. Bye.
It's just past midnight Wednesday morning for me, which for most of you is Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday early afternoon. I just got back from hanging out with my coworkers, and we went out sightseeing and went out for drinks. It was actually a lot of fun. Yeah, but it's late, so I gotta go to bed. Just figured I'd say hi to everyone. Hi, everyone. And, yeah, I guess I'll chat with you later. Yeah, my coworkers are pretty awesome people. Bye.